Hey, welcome! Today we're diving deep into something really fascinating from SD Insights 105, and it's all about happiness. We all think we know what it is, right? But it turns out the data tells a story that's way more complex and, honestly, a lot more interesting.
So let's just start with the big question. Is happiness the same for everybody? Is that feeling of joy or contentment some kind of universal thing? Or does it look and feel totally different depending on who you are and where you are in the world? Well, to try and get to the bottom of this, researchers went big. They used a massive global poll, the Oxford Happiness Survey, to see if they could finally pin down a universal definition. And when I say big, I mean it. We're talking data from over 1,600 people, stretching across 81 countries and 18 different languages. So this wasn't some tiny sample size. This was a real snapshot of the entire globe. But here's where it gets really interesting. Instead of finding that one simple answer they were looking for, the data gave them a puzzle. It showed 6 totally distinct and, get this, often contradictory patterns of what happiness even means to people.
Okay, so let's really dig in here. This chart, this is the mystery we're here to solve. Each of those colors represents a different way of seeing the world, a different core value system. And right away, you can see the problem, right? The results are all over the place. Some groups strongly agree the world's a good place, while others completely disagree. Some are all about being very happy, while others seem to push that label away. It looks like total chaos, but it's not. It's actually a map of how happiness is built differently all over the world. So you and me, for the next few minutes, we're going to be data detectives. We're going to break down these 6 patterns, these 6 languages of happiness, and we're going to see why each one, in its own way, makes perfect sense. So our first clue comes from what the research calls the purple value system. Think safety, tribe, tradition. Now, the data shows they're way more likely to agree that the world is not a good place. But here's the thing. This isn't about being gloomy. It's a survival strategy. If you live in an unpredictable environment, being overly optimistic can be dangerous. A healthy dose of skepticism is what keeps your tribe safe. And that quote right there, it says it all. For this group, well-being isn't about feeling cheerful, it's about being safe. That protective vigilance isn't negativity, it's a form of care. It's what ensures the group survives. Now, let's flip the script completely and look at the total opposite, the orange value system. This is all about achievement, strategy, and success. And they strongly disagree with that pessimistic view. Why? Because for them, if you're in a competitive world, you have to believe you can win just to get in the game. It's not just hope, it's a piece of operational intelligence. See, for this way of thinking, your mindset is everything. A positive, can-do outlook isn't just a nice-to-have. It is a strategic tool. It's what unlocks your ability to go out and make things happen. Okay, on to our next piece of the puzzle. This is the blue value system, which is all about purpose, order, and moral clarity. And what's interesting is they tend to disagree with the statement, "I laugh a lot." But why? Well, it's because for this worldview, true fulfillment comes from a quiet sense of integrity, from doing the right thing, not necessarily from being loud and cheerful. This is so key to understanding this perspective. For Blue, being serious isn't a sign that you're unhappy. It's a sign of commitment, of discipline, of being connected to a higher purpose. And that is a powerful, deeply meaningful form of well-being. And then you've got the yellow value system. These are the big picture systems thinkers, and they're less likely to agree with a simple statement like, "I am very happy." Now, this isn't because they're sad, it's because for a mind that sees all the connections, all the paradoxes, a simple label like happy just feels, well, kind of dishonest. It's too simple. And this quote, wow. This just reframes everything perfectly. That complex inner world, the ability to feel both joy and grief at the exact same time, that's not a bug, it's a feature. It's not a barrier to well-being, it's the very source of their clarity. And this incredible diversity just keeps unfolding. You have the communal green value system, where people find decisions hard because they feel the emotional weight of how their choices affect everyone. Then you have the holistic turquoise system, where well-being isn't about me, it's about feeling like you're part of one big interconnected whole. The range is just astounding. All right, so we've looked at all the clues. We've seen how these different languages of happiness work. So what's the big reveal? What's the solution to the mystery we started with? Here it is, the big insight. Happiness isn't some fixed destination out there that we're all trying to get to. It's a language.
And that language changes depending on your core values and the world you're living in. In other words, well-being isn't something you find, it's something you construct. And look, this isn't just some interesting academic idea. This has real-world, practical implications for all of us, for how we lead our teams, how we build our communities, even how we understand ourselves. It really forces you to rethink this whole idea of a happy life. So what can you actually do with this? Well, it boils down to three really big shifts in thinking. First, we have to stop trying to measure everyone's happiness with the same yardstick. Second, we have to realize that what helps an achievement-focused orange person thrive might totally crush a community-focused green person. And finally, and this is the big one, we need to start seeing this emotional diversity as a strength. Purple's caution, yellow's complexity, blue's seriousness, these are not problems we need to fix. They are vital parts of a healthy human system.
And all of this leaves us with one final, kind of uncomfortable question to chew on. With all this corporate obsession with measuring employee happiness, is it possible that it's really a form of control? A way to demand that everyone feels the same way because that's easier to manage, even if it crushes the authentic ways people actually find meaning in their lives? It's definitely something to think about.